your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
Hello, everybody. It's Brian Engelman with the New American Media. We are here with Hugh Hewitt at Politicon in Los Angeles. Hugh, it is nice to meet you, sir.
Brian, great to be working with a fellow NEOer.
Yes. Northeastern Ohio.
Did we do that for the Steelers fans? Did you have to spell it out for us?
I love when you call out the Pittsburgh Steelers fans like that and talking about you can't listen to your show without realizing you're a sports fan. What is it about sports that's so important for someone that grows up in Ohio? Because I feel like it's different regionally. Some people care, but there's something extra wrong with us.
There is something very extra. You know, there's a guy who wrote The Inner Life of a Sports Fan. He wrote it like 3 years ago, and I did an hour with him on my show because he believes it's actually chemistry in the brain. And if that's the case, we got the wrong chemistry. Right?
I call it a hereditary disease.
It is, and actually, I turned my boys into Browns fans, and they're very bitter about it. I turned them into Cavaliers fans. They grew up in California, right? I lived in California since 1989, but I have 4 season tickets to the Browns on the 50 top row. I give them to my brother.
I like the upper seats too, where you can see the plays develop. I don't want to be right down on top.
Terrific seats, and there's a 3-row overhang in Cleveland Browns Stadium. Did you know that? There's a 3-row overhang, so no matter what the weather is, you can stay dry. And they were the seats of my youth. I went to every home game from 1965 to 1974, and my dad had the top seat.
That was 65. Our last championship was when?
64. My dad took my oldest brother, his best friend, and my dad's best friend. And so I was cut out of that, and I'm bitter. And so I saw some pretty good overtime, Jets wins in the playoffs.
Double overtime.
Double overtime. I went and saw, I drove from Michigan. Best day of my life other than getting married or my children being born.
Of course.
Is law school in Michigan, fall of 1980. I drive from Ann Arbor on Monday night with 3 buddies to watch the Browns beat the Bears on Monday Night Football, drive back to Ann Arbor and vote for Ronald Reagan and go to bed.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, and the Buckeyes beat Michigan.
No, this was a Monday night game. And so I voted on Tuesday, went to bed, got up, and saw Reagan blow out Carter. Skipped class, of course. But it was a good day.
The fusion of sports and politics.
And Brian Sipe came up to the studio. You'll like this story. And if Brian watches, or he does occasionally, I saw he was back in Cleveland last week. The phone rings, my legal assistant answered it. There's a man named Brian Sipe on the phone. Do you want to talk to him? Right on the phone. Hi, it's Hugh Hewitt. He says, hi, it's Brian Sipe. I don't know if you know me. I said, I know you. What can I do? He said, I'd like to have lunch with you. Can I come up and have lunch? And I said, can I come down, pick you up, and drive you up to lunch? He had a project. He was, he's an evangelical Christian. And so we had this thing in common. He was working on a project. Nicest guy in the world. And he said, he came on my radio show. He said, all my friends who played with me, when they hear I'm an evangelical Christian, laugh because of the way he lived when he was the Cleveland Browns. But
not the first time that's happened in sports.
Not the first time at all. But any hours. So anyway, back to your original question after 5 minutes. There's nothing else to do in the winter. I grew
Drink and watch football.
I grew up going to Catholic school, and every Saturday was spent in a gym playing basketball, watching people play basketball, or coming to and from watching people.
Was that your main sport? Was it basketball?
I had no sports. I'm completely uncoordinated. But I played, every kid got to play kind of thing. They even had to let me play. But Blessed Sacrament Royals, that was our team.
Yeah, I remember I played football, and it was the season when the Browns were stolen. And it was for an undefeated high school football team, and Jim Tomey was coming in the stands. They were watching, getting mobbed. It was the biggest thing going on. It was a weird time to be
You a linebacker?
I was a defensive end.
Okay. So I got the right attitude. I got the right every match. Okay.
Like to hit. But, no, I mean, with all of your years watching sports, was there a defining high moment, your favorite moment? I mean, I know you gave the Reagan story, but would that be...
No, look, I've got a lot of bad moments.
We all have a ton of bad
1989, I just moved to California in time for the fumble, and my wife could not really believe how much that impacted. Yeah, it was a getaway romantic weekend, but it wasn't because the fumble.
You can't focus. You
go into the place where you're unhappy, right?
The unhappy hour.
The unhappy hour.
That's what it is. I'm a bartender.
But that was an unhappy 72 hours. That was like, it took 72 hours to get over that. And the shot, the drive, all of it. Red, right. Yeah, I know it all.
And then it's Art Modell taking the team and LeBron dissing.
You know what the best moment is? Herb Score announcing the Indians won the pennant. The Indians won the pennant. The Indians won the pennant in 1995. I listened to Herb Score live. I can't get the audio. The audio is not available. I can hear the call clearly.
I still love the Tom Hamilton.
So you're a Tom Hamilton guy. Way back. You're a Tom Hamilton guy. I'm a Herb Score guy. And I grew up the sounds of my youth, and everyone who's 59 or older listen on transistor radios after they're supposed to go to bed, and there's one guy in their head, and my guy's Herb Score, and when he was so happy. So that's probably my happiest moment, winning the pennant in '95.
And do you think that something happens to Northeastern Ohio's NEOs when we get close and something always happens?
We
and
know
becomes
what's going to happen.
They're always going to find a way to screw this. Oh, you just watch. They're going to fumble it. And it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
What just happened? No, it's not self-fulfilling prophecy that the Kelly tore Kevin Love's arm out of his shoulder. That's not a self-fulfilling prophecy that Kyrie's kneecap is broken. These are not self-fulfilling prophecies. This is a curse. And it goes back to
Rocky Calavito?
Frank Lane.
Explain that for people.
Frank Lane was the general manager of the Cleveland Indians who traded Rocky Calavito for Harvey Keene in 1961. I think it's 61 or 62. The Rock came back to Cleveland eventually.
Not the same player.
Not the same player, but he don't knock the Rock. My grandfather, Hugh Hewitt, for whom I name, attended every home opener for Cleveland for 40 years from Ashtabula. And they have a picture of him with Rapid Robert on his 40s. He's an old man. And he thought that that's what turned it around. He died asking whether or not Richie Scheinblum was having a good spring. That's what we grew up with, right? If you're an NEO or you're a Tribes fan, you're a Browns fan. Cavaliers, yeah, I got busted. Here's a good moment, Cleveland sports futility. I'm supposed to be taking final exams at Harvard. My brother and I went to Harvard together. It's 1976. It's the Celtic. Jim Jones gets hurt. So Nate Thurman has to come in, Miracle Richfield, but they're playing in the Garden, and a Cleveland Plain Dealers fan sees way up in the high garden these two college kids with a Go Cavs sign. So he finds his way up and he takes our picture and he puts it on the front page of the Cleveland Plain Dealer. And my uncle calls my dad and says, "Do you know your boys are not really studying there?"
That was social media before social media.
It was social media busted before social media. So that was a pretty good night, but we lost. We lost in 6 to the Celtics.
And who would be if the one team, Make-A-Wish, one team wins it, breaks the curse?
Oh.
Who do you think it will be and who do you hope it is?
Oh, it's going to be the Indians because of our staff. I mean, they're
locked up for a few years.
They're locked up. It's a good club. And Lindor, my gosh, the kid. I didn't see him play. Did you see him play?
A little bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play.
Not as much as I needed to.
But if you can be Rookie of the Year and come up on, June 22nd, then you're...
They had to hold him back for half a... Who knows? That
He's
could have
still
been
gonna be
those 4
Rookie of the Year.
games that we need to get in the
But that's okay. The Indians are going to win. The Cavaliers are going to win. Will the Browns ever win? I don't know. I started to tell you about these season tickets in '99 because my dad always had season tickets till they left, so I could always go. And I bought them and I said to my brother John, "John, you take care of these. I'm coming when they have a home playoff game." I have not been to Cleveland Browns Stadium.
What an investment.
I've had season tickets since 1999. Now my brother uses them, my nephews use them, my kids go, my sons drive up from DC or they come out. I refuse to go till it's a home. I made that stupid statement of vow. My brother doesn't let me forget it. He wants the tickets. And they've been so bad, you leave 2, you come back, you find 4, the whole thing. But, if we get, what did you think of Johnny 2 weeks ago? We're taping this as they are 1-3.
And I was at the Charger game last week.
My son was there.
Snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory yet again.
Of
I think with Johnny Manziel, he was a total train wreck last year. Obviously, blowing coke in Vegas, allegedly. What else are you rolling up dollar bills on the thing for?
It was very sketchy.
Riding swans and champagne and all that. Fine, he's partying, but he crashed. He bottomed out. He didn't have a set. Went to rehab, whatever. According to all the coaches and players, he came back a different guy. You watch the preseason, he's not taking off to run the first play because he doesn't know the playbook. Yeah. He knows where to check down. 2 weeks ago, it said the NFL had 6 plays of 50 yards or more for touchdowns in the season.
He had 3.
Johnny had 3.
Yeah.
So,
I saw the second game. I watched the second game in Washington.
Put him in and find out what we have is my short answer.
My question is, if they're invested in him, do you do that and let him get hurt, or do you let him play
and
another?
Potentially risk it.
Yeah.
And maybe he can learn some of the other intangibles from Josh McCown, even though Josh McCown is no Tom Brady.
Had a hell of a game.
That's what you're leaning to?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 300-something, but standing back there like a paper mache doll, just getting smacked. A little bit of footwork.
And Alex Mack's not totally back, right?
No. Joe Hayden's out because he hurt his Well, I like Joe, but come on, man, it's a pinky.
Well, you know,
I
I make no judgment since I played exactly 1 year of high school football, 3 plays. And that's how bad so I make no judgments on who's hurt and who's not hurt. But I think if they really are invested in him, they don't throw him into the grinder. If they're not invested in him, they go let him lose.
Well, I think
10
last
games
year
and
was
they
the
dump him.
grinder. I think last year was the grinder, and I think they're ready to give up on him anyway. Is it fail for Cardale this year? People are saying it, so we got to figure it out.
Don't believe. No one believes that.
Do you believe that?
First of all, we don't think Cardale is the guy, do we?
Did we fail for LeBron?
No, we failed for Kyrie. We failed for. We
traded
drafting.
Baron Davis for Kyrie. We failed for.
No, I don't think they failed for LeBron. I do think that there are a lot of good quarterbacks coming out. We don't have to have the number one choice. We could go into the playoffs and still get a quarterback this year if John is not any good. But there's some awfully good guys.
I'm telling you, I'm hoping for that.
Right.
Let me bounce over to politics.
All right.
We're here at Politicon.
Yep.
What brought you out? I know you're up at the Reagan Library doing stuff. You're hosting
Politicon is.
CNN.
I would like this to be a tradition that I was at the first one. There was a first CPAC. There was a first Western Conservative Summit. This is the first Politicon. I've watched the Western Conservative Summit in Denver grow 100% every year, year to year. And so I also remember Blog World, which has transformed itself into a completely different new information expo. The first ones are always hard to get going, but they brought in all sorts of talent.
Right. Oh yeah, the line. You saw we just added Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You can go to that if you want.
We could agree to disagree. Yeah, never mind.
I try to avoid going to treasonous bastard shows, but just something.
I just love defending our Bill of Rights and the Fourth Amendment.
You don't do it by selling the country down and having people killed, because people died as a result of that. But I digress.
It's a little nuanced.
It is a good. Are you a Democrat? Did I sit down to a show with a Democrat?
I used to vote Republican, and I bailed out.
Did you vote for Kasich?
Oh no, I've been in California for 10 years.
Okay, so what do you think of John?
Counts. What do I think of John?
He's a pal. I like him.
I don't necessarily dislike the guy.
Nobody can dislike him.
No, he's that guy you want to have a beer with.
Yeah,
but it's the Trump show and everybody else.
Yeah.
And on the left, I'm really interested on the left. If Bernie's, is Hillary really going to get through this? I don't think she stands.
She's got a glass jaw.
So do we want her to get it? I'm not a Democrat, but I want the Democrats to definitely not take over the presidency.
Oh, so you want the Democrats to lose?
I want the Democrats to lose, just like I have pretty much my entire life. But I gave up on the Republicans.
Bernie Sanders is your guy. You want Bernie to be the nominee.
Do you think he can actually do it?
Yeah, because they're insane primary voters, like we have insane primary voters. And they had 20,000 people in Boston. Now, they were all white and old. But they're all the old hippies are back, and they're all the old pensioners, and they're people who the government owes them allegedly pensions for which there's no money, right? You and I are gonna. I'm 59. How old are you?
36.
Do you realize how much money you owe? Mm-hmm. That to people who stop working at 50.
That's why I see this entire political system collapsing, and I see the old guard, the Republicans and Democrats, who have just. I see them two wings of the same dirty bird.
No. Paul Ryan's got a plan. You got to have
Some
a
of
plan.
these guys are almost believable, and I want to believe in that, but I've been burned on it so many times.
It's actually not that hard. If you did a few things, like Chris Christie says, if you're making $250,000 a year, you're not getting any Social Security. Fine by me. I think that's a great idea. If you're on Medicare, we're not going to pay 75% of your bills if you've got $5 million in the bank. Fine by me. That stuff.
Little things to percent here, percent there.
And then the thing that gets me in trouble with my conservative friends, I think we ought to have a severance tax on oil and natural gas, because they didn't make that, and it's not hard to find now. There's a guy in Cleveland, David Zbogno, Universal Imaging Systems, I think it's called, or Universal Medical. He actually can find the oil before you put a drill in the ground. You can image the earth now, so there's no risk.
Ground sonar, radar.
So there's no risk, and so if there's no risk, why are we not saying to people?
Why are we past it at this point? There's got to be a technology.
Yeah, there is a technology. It's called desalinization. Why don't we have that in California?
All the runoff from what's coming for El Nino, it's all going to go in the street. It's all going to go in the sewer.
Started yet? I'm in Colorado for 4 months. Has it started?
No, we've been hot for a few days. A little bit of rain, but we're going to get.
Who do you root for out here? You're like me. What do you do sports-wise?
Indians, Cavs, Browns, and Buckeyes. I cry.
You cry. Do you go to Dodgers games?
Oh yeah, I'll go to Dodgers
games. Don't you mock their fans? Their fans don't really know anything. I've got a Lakers fan
I'll
who's an
say-
associate producer. He doesn't really know anything about basketball. Marlon, tell us about that. Kobe's coming back, right? Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, Kobe's good. He's been talking about Kobe coming back
Julius
for 3
Randle
years.
solid.
Yeah,
but
he's very bitter.
didn't Russell just hurt himself?
No, you gotta.
Just a
Don't
He's
talk
fine.
basketball. He doesn't.
Well, that's a Buckeye guy.
He's
So we
unreality.
can
I know, but he's unreal. He doesn't deal with
No, but
reality.
I'll go to the Dodger games, and I will say
You
my
will?
cousin Brittany is an amazing, knowledgeable sports fan, rabid, right there, a few rows back on first base
Have you ever
side.
talked college football with a Trojan fan? They don't know
Yeah.
anything about college football. They really don't. Are you
And
a
their
Trojans
ta-
fan?
No,
Okay, good.
Buckeyes.
Good.
Their tailgates are the best. The sweater vests and the Chardonnay.
You know, I brought my sister-in-law out,
They're rad.
and we were down on Balboa Island at Christmas time. And your audience won't understand this. Balboa Island's a pretty high-end neighborhood, and they have a boat parade. They have no snow. They have no Christmas tree. But all the Trojan people put out their Trojan flags. And this is not a Northeastern Ohio thing, right? And so my sister-in-law says to me, can't they find their way home? And I said, actually, no, they're USC grads. And so she didn't get it, but we had some Trojan people here tonight. It was fun.
No, I got to go see Terrell Pryor and Jim Tressel at
Very
the
good.
Rose Bowl with the Oregon Ducks. And
Very good. I
took
saw
them
that
out.
game. I was there with you, with Bud and my boys. Bud is a USC fan. I enjoyed that. I love beating the Little Ducks. If you call them the Little Ducks, they get really mad.
The Little Ducks?
The Little Ducks.
The not so mighty Ducks?
The not so mighty. I just call them the Little Ducks. They're sweet.
All right, let me get
Do you know
back
that
to
Stanford beat USC and Northwestern beat Stanford? How bad is USC?
Well, Northwestern's actually decent
Oh,
this
don't
year.
go there. My daughter's a Northwestern grad.
Well, the Buckeyes haven't looked impressive this year, have they? They're undefeated.
They don't have to be. They looked impressive against Virginia Tech. They don't have to be impressive. They get impressive when they have to be impressive.
Man, I sure hope you're right.
Look at the playoffs. How can you?
That
I could be jaded. You're not old enough to be jaded.
But would you agree that season last year, with the death of Costa Cora, Kara George,
Best
losing
college
Braxton
football
Miller,
season.
losing
Losing
JT
the first
Barrett,
game.
Yeah, losing to Virginia Tech. Like that will be a Disney movie. All the adversity, third string quarter, like something like Remember the Titans. Someone's got to start working on that script. If
Now-
not soon, right down the line.
Now trust me, you bring him on.
Yeah, I do.
Guy I admire a great deal.
Where's he
Takes
going
over
next
Youngstown State. Doesn't he come here? If you're USC, don't you hire Jim Tressel? You've got to have a clean as a whistle program.
Right.
Yes, he stood up for his. The only problem is you got to have a clean as a whistle program. But he's the squarest man in America. He stood up for his players 1 week too long. They had that idiot guy who turned him in. And by the way, I've never understood that rule.
Geiger?
Yeah,
Is that-
I've never understood the rule about bartering stuff that you own. I've never understood
The
that.
NCAA is a total
I know,
farce.
total-
If you never saw the John Oliver bit on Last Week Tonight,
I
that he
did not.
John Oliver's doing some interesting stuff. Loony on some things, but great on others. He did a whole bit on the NCAA and how much money they're making and how they're crafting these rules to make it like kind of this permanent minor
Really?
league system for the NFL. And it's a great bit. You should check it out. John Oliver.
But don't you
NCAA.
think Tressel for SC?
I kind of wanted Tressel for the Browns.
Well, no, he's not college ball. I mean, he is a very, very disciplined, not very exciting.
He's the uncle that's going to take care of the nephew when the parents are out of town, just like
Yeah.
the kids when they drop them off.
And
at
they'll
college.
love him here. They haven't ever had. They've
Do we
had.
want to export a great coach over to the left coast?
You know, if he could turn USC around, then we could forever own the argument with these people. If
Okay,
it took an
I'll give you
Ohio
that.
State coach, we could forever own the argument.
Let me see who's going to turn it around with the Speaker of the House.
Paul Ryan. Gonna be Paul Ryan?
Is this a hands down? Because then the blackmail thing with that just came out with McCarthy, like.
I don't buy it. I've known Kevin since 1989. I don't buy it.
Well,
The
you
woman-
don't buy that it's true, but it was blackmail attempt in some sort of
Some guy was doing crazy stuff.
something was.
But that had been going on for 2 weeks.
Oh.
All right, that had been since Boehner stepped down. My inbox was full of that stuff. It had no
Are you happy
traction.
Boehner's stepping down?
Yes.
Why? Because he's an Ohio guy.
He's
I
an Ohio
wanted
guy.
to like
I
him.
like him. I've introduced him. He used to come on my radio show. He's a terrific guy. Grew up in a bar. You can't love this story. You can't communicate. You can't do this. You got to be able to sit down and do this with a million different people and enjoy it. And by the way, make some Republican points quickly with some humor and move on.
It seemed like his job was like the assistant to Barack Obama. It's like, what do you need, sir? What can
I'm
I
not
make?
going to be that mean to him. You can't pin this country on John Boehner. This is all President Obama.
But he didn't really form any legitimate opposition that had any team.
He tried
the entire
twice.
time.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. President Obama was for sale and would not stay bought repeatedly with Republicans. John Boehner just took a long time to learn that. Nobody trusts him. Nobody trusts President Obama to do a deal. He won't even get a deal done now, even though he'll give everything away to get a deal done before.
Any goodies you expect to see down the pike between now and the end of the Obama term? Any big moves? He's up in Oregon right now trying to slam the Second Amendment.
No, he's
Dancing
been
on
blocked.
graves.
He's been blocked by, I don't call it dancing on graves. I would go grieve. I think
Well, correct
it
me.
was wrong.
Why do you not say that?
Because whenever a national tragedy occurs, the president ought to go grieve with those who grieve, mourn with those who mourn. So I'm all for the
Well, if they
president
do it without the political agenda of I'm pushing this and then there's
I
nothing.
did not like the day after press conference,
so
but I
that's-
like Obama going to Sandy and Chris Christie hugging him. I like Bush going to Katrina, and presidents, that's their job. They're mourner in chief. So I'm not with the people who are protesting the president being up there. But if he's got an idea on how to stop that, let him come out and tell us what the idea is. The only thing that stops that is confiscation of weapons. All right? Try and sell that. Not going to work. Yeah, it's not going
That's
to
the
work.
follow-up to everyone. Oh, we should just get rid of guns. Okay.
Go get, try that. Pass a
And
law
what's your plan
anywhere.
for
You go ahead. It's
I
called the
just say
Second Amendment.
I just say we should make murder illegal. If we had some common sense legislation against murder, we just wouldn't
I had a
have it.
guy on the show tonight, Tim Murphy, from Pennsylvania, surprisingly literate, given that he was from Pennsylvania. Nevertheless, has a bill on mental health reform for the chronically schizophrenic, bipolar.
And a lot of that's
disorder.
pinned back on Ronald Reagan.
Right.
A lot of that is, okay, well, Reagan's great, this and that, but look what he did for mental health. I mean, do you think a lot of that is fair?
Deinstitutionalization was a bad idea that we've never recovered from. It was not pinned on Ronald Reagan. It was actually Reagan reflecting the medical science of the time, which was not good. They should not have allowed people to be institutionalized. And as Tim Murphy said, HIPAA gets in the way of people who want to take care of mentally ill people being taken care of.
Yeah, because you have...
You can't talk to them.
Yeah, non-disclosure. And
If you're a doctor, you're scared to death to say anything because someone can sue you. So Murphy's bill is very good. There's a Wall Street Journal thing we're talking on October the 9th. People should go to Wall Street Journal, look up Tim Murphy. It's a great piece.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with back. Yeah. No, I was actually thinking politics.
Let's talk a little baseball. Well, actually, can I interview you for a second?
Yes, you.
Best sports writer in Cleveland.
I mean, I listen to Tony Grossi all the time. He's
All right,
my
you
man
just
on
met-
the street.
Tell me what's wrong with Grossi. I have a
I mean,
beef
he's the
with
eternal
Grossi.
pessimist, and he's what Trump says about Bush. He's a low energy guy. Well, they're out of Berea today, and he said that he.
How long has Grossi been doing the Browns? At some
a long
point,
time.
shouldn't someone take the dog out back and send him to the farm? Really, he's the best reporter going, but he embodies defeatism.
Somebody that I really like is John Telledge.
I don't
He's been a guest. Well, he's Fox 8 Cleveland. He's
Okay,
a
that's
sports
why I don't
anchor.
get to see him.
Yeah, it's television.
I love
like
Terry
10-time Emmy
Pluto.
winner.
In fact,
Pluto's great.
Here's an HBO documentary. You're in the entertainment business. A season in the life of Terry Pluto, a season in the life of Tony Grossi. Because they approach their jobs completely differently. And I don't even know how they were in the same newsroom all those years. But, Pat Heaton.
Yin and yang, man.
Yeah, and just see how they react to everything, because Tony's always looking for the bright side, and Grossi is always looking for the cloud over Joe Bistick's head. But Patricia Heaton, the actress, dad was Chuck Heaton, before your time editor of the Cleveland Plain Dealer. This breaks my heart. She's a friend of mine. She has me to dinner and she says, Hugh, you've got to stop hating on the man who must not be named. The man who must not be named on my radio show is the man who moved the Browns in the year that you won the championship. And so he must not be named on my radio. You've got to stop hating on him. He would come to Christmas at my house every year with Chuck Heaton and his daughter Pat and their family, because he's Jewish. And he would come every year, and he was the most lovable man ever. I said, don't tell me this stuff. I don't want to hear this about him. I want his
I had
picture
a Go to
taken
Hell
down.
Odell t-shirt.
You mentioned his name. This will never air on my show. Not going to happen.
That team up north.
Team up north.
Yeah, it was horrible. I just really think if people haven't.
How old were you?
This was what was it? 90.
90.
I mean, I was like a sophomore. I was at the last game. I put my feet up on the seats in front of me. After someone got arrested in the first quarter trying to do it, I waited till they were passing rows of chairs down in the fourth, and I pushed down the row of seats in front of me. It kind of creaked, and I just said, what the hell, go for it. And I snapped the whole row in front of me, and I grabbed the seat and took it home with me.
You got one at home?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Very
one
cool.
in front of me.
Very,
the vultures
very cool.
came and took the others. So no, this was like junior year, maybe.
See,
junior
people
year.
don't understand. That was the worst thing. I know the Colts.
LeBron
fans
leaving
don't.
was really.
I watched the.
That was when the economy was crumbling. That's when America was looking for like a Rocky Balboa,
You know what
something to grow, like to attach
His
to
return.
and look up to.
Did you see Trainway?
Which one?
Trainwreck, his movie. He's very funny.
I haven't.
Oh, he plays one-on-one with Bill Hader. It's maybe
like
about funniest 5 minutes. But I hated LeBron. I hated him. But he managed to pull it off with the letter to SI by talking about being an
Did you
Indiana.
well up? Did you well up?
Of course I did. I'm from Ohio.
I took the day off and called my dad.
But I watched the decision with my boys. And what was so bad about
like
it
expecting
is
something good?
we thought he was staying. You know, that was a bad thing. He never, but he was a kid. He didn't understand. The letter made it right.
And I left Northeast Ohio, Northwest at Bowling Green, but I left at 25. I wasn't a multimillionaire, most recognizable name in sports, but I left too. It's a big world.
Oh, I left.
To see.
And he said, perfect explanation. He just shouldn't have done it that way.
Right. He said that was my college.
Yeah. But that was fine.
Okay,
it was fine.
You go away for 4 years, and
you don't tell mom and dad you're staying and then leave in the middle of the night. So that was.
Okay, I always did that, but
you did do that. Okay,
that's something a little different. No, I really think this is going to be the year for the Cavs, but that's part of the psychosis. Every year is the year, which is why, like Cubs fans, if you stop, you can't be a Cubs fan anymore. Can't do it.
George Will.
Then they get in this year, like you can't.
George Will bought a ticket, went from Washington to Pittsburgh to see the game and won 4-0. He was, I think he's getting his hopes up too much. It's not a good thing.
Who do you see winning the series?
I don't really care. Indians aren't in it. I don't pay any attention.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
I give up. If they're not in it, I don't pay any attention at all. So.
That's fair. Do you see the Buckeyes repeating?
Yes. And
who might they play? Anyone else jump out at you in the first few weeks?
Well, I was on the bus at Wally Park today in Denver with an Alabama fan who's absolutely convinced that they're unbeatable. They're playing Arkansas, which isn't really a game this weekend. So I don't. Someone from the SEC. It's not Pac-10. It's a pathetic conference.
Not Michigan State.
Are you allowed to have two teams in the?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a big thing. So
you can beat someone in the Big Ten championship and play them in the.
I would imagine, yeah.
You know, I'll close with this because I got to get.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
Condoleezza Rice.
A big Browns fan. Right?
Big Browns fan. I've been in her office. I asked her if she would draft for the Browns this year. She said no. That's true. I did that in front of a bunch of reporters.
Close your eyes and throw a dart. You might do that.
I can do better. But she said that the most fun she's had in her professional life is on the selection committee for the playoffs. I mean, this is a woman that's done everything. I've read her biography. She's a remarkable, amazing, great American. The most fun she's had is being on the playoff selection committee. And she said they worked it. They worked it so hard, upside down, 6 ways to Sunday. Of course, they had the TCU, Baylor thing going on.
And if Ohio State didn't punish the teams right at the end like they did, they've been left out.
But think what that did to every future selection committee. Ohio State in 2014-15 is going to be on the mind of every room whenever they get together when someone says they got to win it. That 4 can win it. Yeah, and
I like it
you can have one loss. Ohio State did every football team in America that loses one game a favor.
Oh yeah,
big favor.
Right,
Brian, I got to work. Good to have you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, my friend.
The rest of Politicon will be here over the weekend.
Have a good show.
Thank you very much.
Send me the MP3. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.